Hey everyone, in this video I'll be ranking the top 5 strongest electric type pals in Palworld's 1.0 update. Now electric type is actually really weird. It's home to one of the strongest, if not the strongest pal in the game, but there's also a lot of lackluster electric pals. That is compared to the other types. Now, I will start off with some honorable mentions here, and a couple things I just want to quickly mention is that Snock here, new pal in 1.0, allows you to electrify with your main weapon. Electrify is actually better for water style builds as it makes the water type damage deal double the amount of damage, but if you personally want to do a lot of electric damage, we want to throw on the water and grass type Ophidia, which can apply soaked on the enemy. Soak makes so that they'll take double electric damage if they're not already water type, which is incredible. And you can also pair that with like Yormantide, increase damage to soak targets by 65%, which is comparable when you're able to boost up and increase your electric damage and change it over on your guns. But we also have pals like Celeray Lux here, which is great because this prevents fall damage and extends your gliding duration, and it's a little bit stronger than regular Celeray, and water and electric's actually a very good type. Now we also have some others like Jolt Hog. You can use this to go fishing. I'm going to put air quotes there because when you fish with Jolt Hog, it doesn't give you the same pals that you normally get by fishing, but you can throw them as a grenade into that. We also have some pals like Mossanda Lux, which has a grenade launcher and honestly a pretty powerful pal. Things like Relaxosaurus Lux as well has a missile launcher here, so pretty cool. We also have Solmora Lux, which has an interesting passive here, which allows you to have an easier time getting talented pals by fishing. And what this actually means is that you're going to get better passives when you go fishing. So pretty cool, and it will change your attack type to electric and increase it by 20%. We also have some pals like Univolt here. Whenever you attack a target that is weak to electric, it's going to give a 40% damage boost. So this would be water type. It is only for the elemental weakness. They actually just updated the wording on that. But we also have a renamed electric pal as of yesterday, Snock Terra. These used to be called Snock Lux, which made no sense as they're always electric type. This one's just fair. It makes you immune to soaked. We got Slowot too, which pairs with Snock, which allows you to do an elemental explosion of 60% of the original player attack damage. Now there is problems with this because if you use the drone launcher, there's a cooldown for this, so you'd want to use like the mechanical bow to get the most out of that if you're going for an electric style setup. But we're going to dive right into our 5th place. Funny enough, I'm giving that to Zoe and Grisbold. Now, this is strong for a couple of reasons. You can get it relatively early on after you beat the first tower boss. I do have a video I just posted. I'll have that linked in the comments or in the pinned comment here, but it actually has a pretty solid attack stat. So I'll compare this to some others here. So you see Zoe and Grisbold, 3,400. We got Slowot. These are endgame pals that have 2,200 attack. All the passives are going to be the same here to keep things consistent for comparison's sake. But you see 3,400. We got like Solmora Lux, another endgame pal, 29. Mossanda. There are some that are stronger, like Relaxosaurus Lux here, but the thing is, this is a mount that you can also use if you want to, use them as a movement mount, but it comes with a minigun here, so this is a way to attack without wasting your own ammo, and it's relatively quick enough if you're just moving around like this. The minigun's not like crazy damage, but you can see it there. I have Mercy hit on, so yeah, it's shredding through at targets like Quivering there, just got absolutely melted. But it also has a lethal laser attack here, so you can do this, just charging up this here, and it looks pretty cool, big lightning blast, so pretty powerful. And on top of that, it does come with its own exclusive skill, the Heavy Thunder Tank here, which allows you to pull its minigun. It's mostly meant to be like a funny pal, but it is strong, and it comes with a ton of electric moves. It also has Lightning Claw, its exclusive move, which is normally exclusive as well to regular Grisbold, and it is really funny to use its attacks here. It is strong. I think this is a pal that's worth getting early on because it's fun to mess around and have Zoe with you. And a little fun fact around this, I played the game when it first released in early access, and you were actually able to catch them, and Pocket Pair made it so that you can actually do a quest line to be able to get them. And again, I'll have that linked in the pinned comments. But yeah, this is the Electabuzz Totoro. So yeah, I think he looks a lot like Totoro. Getting that minigun though is really nice because it gives you a ranged attack here. It's strong on its own, and it's also good at your base with a solid electric skill here. It's got a 5 in handiwork here, and when it's maxed it's 4 naturally, 3 in lumbering, and a solid transporting skill of 5, which can be condensed at max to 7, and then you can also use books to max these out, but it makes for a good base pal as well, so honestly pretty solid. Electric types are exclusive in the fact that they're good for generating electricity. I should also quickly mention an honorable mention for Pen King Lux here, which allows you to also get yourself watering, generating electricity, handiwork, mining, and transporting. So for base pals, these are 2 of the best electric types because they do everything compared to the others. When you have things like Dynamoth, and I guess this is another honorable mention I should mention here, this will make it so that eggs incubate quicker, so that can be nice for that, but it is mostly just used for like base purposes as well with the generating electricity. And next up in fourth place, we have Azurmane. Now, you probably expect this one to be a little bit higher because it is actually a very strong PAL, and it's a mount, and it works pretty quickly here. So you can put Sky Mercher on it to give it even more jumps, but it's a cool looking PAL. It's pretty strong, and to compare it to some of the others here, just to show off the stats, it's got 3600 there for its attack stats. So honestly, one of the highest attack stats in the game for an electric type here. So that's really good. It's comparable to Raxosaurus Lux here, who can also be mounted, but not as quick as Azurmane. Where Azurmane shines is its exclusive skills. It's got Bolt Blink here, which lets it do a like dash attack, doing a lot of damage. Flash Charge, similar concept. It's a zebra that does electric damage, so that's obviously pretty cool in itself. It's fast and powerful, so I'll show you what its moves here look like. You see it charging up, and then boom, like Minato, it flies through, and yeah, you just let it do its thing, rushing through every enemy, and then it just attacks there like that. So yeah, cool moves, very strong, and you can mount it. So if you're someone that enjoys mounting PALs, another thing about mounting is you can use all the skills here, and then you can basically jump off its back and it'll keep all the skills. So yeah, you can use this to do some pretty fast moving around here, and then you can just jump off its back and it's going to get all those moves back again. So yeah, great for transporting around, but you can also shoot from its back here as well. So you do have options when it comes to actually fighting with this PAL. I think it's a pretty strong one overall, and it does have a lot of great moves, obviously, with the electric typing here. So yeah, Azurmane is a very powerful PAL, but it's not as our strongest here for a few reasons. And no better to explain why with Prickster Lux here. Now, Prickster, actually, I just did a best ground type PALs, and Prickster and regular Prickster were both on that because they're both ground types, but it's not the ground typing that makes us so good. Electric ground, though, is a very solid type, which is strong against electric, but also water. Water is one of the most common types in this game. Its special skill, Scorpion Long Wave. So when activated, it's going to change our attack type to electric and increase the attack by 50%. Now, where you'd want to use this is two of the hardest bosses in the game, 8th Tower Boss and Panthalus, are both water types, making this PAL very powerful for that strategy. Little typo, I think this just got added with the recent update, but it's Thunder Uppercut special skill here. Now, again, what you'd want to be using this for is activating its skill. Now, the problem with its skill is that it's not active at all times, and there's other PALs in the game that'll actually have it active at all times. But again, you'd want to be using this if you're going off against like Panthalus, for example, because you can then get yourself that electric damage. So whenever you shoot, you're dealing electric. What's cool about that too is that it's dealing electric damage and it's a 50% boost, but whenever you get that 50% boost, it's also likely going to be super effective against water. So you're going to be doing even further damage with that, and pair that with all the other buffs if you throw them on things like Lumen or Solen. Solen giving it an 80% attack boost there, and then throwing Lumen into the mix can also make it so that your arrows explode, doing explosion damage or doing an arrow effect, and it's 30% multiplicatively, so it actually does an insane amount of damage. So Prickster Lux is a really good one to build around, but not my absolute favorite, but it is still really good. But if you like Prickster Lux, you'll love Hellzephyr Lux. Now, its partner skill isn't as strong, but it's more consistent, and it's a flying mount, so you get two things done at once. Same kind of concept though, Wings of Thunder, change your attack type to electric and increase it by 20%. And now we know 20% is not as large as 50%, but it's the big difference here is you can ride on its back, and electric type moves have some moves that you can like start off with, so you can do something like Thunderstorm here as a wind up before you can cast it, and then you can go ahead with like shooting, which is doing your electric type damage, which is, you can see there, basically one-shotting these with the combat SMG, which is normally not a very strong weapon. 2 bullets to take out an PAL here, so yeah, one-shotted it there with the electric damage. This is powerful because you can fly around, easy access to weak points. So I posted a video whenever Panthalus first dropped. Hellzephyr Lux is now the speedrun way to deal with that boss. And it's funny because it was something I posted about as soon as the boss came out, because you can just tell a flying boss that lets you hit the enemy's weak point as easy as possible. If you're using Hellzephyr Lux, you want to take out the mechanical bow, go against Panthalus, easy headshots on his big crystal in his head, or if you're fighting against Ari, the 8th tower boss, Hellzephyr Lux just makes it super easy to get up in his face and either use like the beam scatterer, which will do doing electric damage, and that fires as fast as you pull the trigger, or my preferred method again being the mechanical bow, which you can just easily ping headshots with. So yeah, Hellzephyr Lux is a absolute powerhouse of a PAL just because it is good for getting up in its face because it's a flyer, and Dark Electric, great typing. It's also decent transporting and generating electricity, but it's not our true best. Our true best is actually Electric Garchomp here, or Orserk. This is honestly one of the best pals in the game, if not the best pal, because it's reworked partner skill, brought it from like being a good pal to being an insane pal. Ferocious Thunder Dragon. When it's in your party, hitting an enemy with a bullet, this also counts with the drone launcher, so you can have it on, just continually dealing an extra damage. It's going to increase the attack and defense of the pal fighting alongside you by 5% for a max of 30 stacks for 150%. So it actually has the like best stat here for electricity. You can see 3953 compared to all the others that we went over. The only thing that comes close is like Prickster Lux and Hellzephyr Lux, which has 3817. And I also should mention for Hellzephyr Lux that Beacon is also a really great choice. Beacon is a little bit lower in its attack stats and its defense here, but it gets faster the more electric types that you have in your party, so you can go a little quicker than Hellzephyr Lux, but Hellzephyr Lux is stronger. But Orserk's on a whole other level. It's the highest attack stat for an electric type, and I'll even bring all 5 of them here. So 3953, 3400, 36, 35, and 38. So you see there, Orserk is strong in that regard. And that's before we even get into doing things with the drone launcher and all the other damage boosting abilities that we have with this. So yeah, if you have the combat SMG, this is a great way to then stack up its damage. Kind of hard to showcase, but you basically want to go against a target that's, you know, you can get the stack up really easy. And we're going against the hard mode Ari here now. The thing is, we have our drone launcher there, you see doing a bunch of attacks. You can then just pepper away with the combat SMG. It has a 50 round clip there, so you can actually get that to stack up really quickly. And then Orserk, so you see attack stats starting to go berserk here, 7800. So yeah, it is strong, obviously. It also has its own exclusive skill, Polykernos here, which will increase its, it does a really good amount of damage here. Oh, I'm getting melted by this boss. Holy crap, I have like a couple health left. But yeah, you guys get the idea. You want Orserk around if you're doing any type of PAL damage setup, so like Belle Noire, Libero, or really any PAL, because 150% extra attack is obviously a lot. And for just a single slot in your inventory, that's something considering. It also gives you that defense boost too. So Orserk is an absolute beast of a PAL. So 100% the best electric type in Palworld's 1.0 update. Hopefully we'll see some more powerful electric types, because honestly, I think this is the weakest in terms of the variety of powerful PALs. But I am really glad for Orserk's rework to give it that very powerful skill here. So yeah, let me know your favorite electric type in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you all in the next one.